I know. I'm not Emerald. I'm definitely not Martha Stewart. And I'm not Paula Deen either. But I have shot a lot of things over the years, and I've wrapped them up in tinfoil, threw them in fires from Alaska to Mexico. And I'm just trying to venture off the typical habit of us Southerners and frying everything. All right, happy times. A nice order just come in from my buddy Stale Cracker Man. Cajun two-step, I got me some cayenne hot sauce. Look at here. Now you know when you talk about that Louisiana flavor, that's gonna be some good Bloody Mary mix. They even got me some honey. Check that out, Louisiana honey, Stale Cracker style. So what we're doing today is gonna be fun. I was glad I was waiting for this to come in because we're definitely gonna use some of that. So we're gonna walk up here to my cooler, Susie's Ridge, and I'm excited because I've got some new elk pot roasts that just come in. They were processed out in Utah, and I got to meet here, and I'm gonna try something. So don't know exactly how I'm gonna go about it, but we want to take a pot roast or an elk roast, and I'm gonna sous vide it. And I got this idea from a friend of mine when I was out in Las Vegas. He told me how he sometimes takes these round pot roasts and he'll sous vide them, and then they blacken them on the grill. So we're gonna use a couple different products, and we're gonna see what it's like. Maybe we can slice some and have a little bit here for kind of a late lunch. So we're gonna put that thing, get it together, and see what we can't do, and try to figure out some new ways to cook some elk, in this case, roast. I love it. It's a good day. Sometimes my favorite thing to do is not have a recipe, is to create your own recipe. So to prove that we're a little bit disorganized and wild and crazy, that's what we're gonna do. Elk roast, and I've got a plethora of different seasonings, and our attempt is to make a pot roast in a little different way. So that's what we're gonna do. So y'all follow along, and I promise you we're gonna tell you the truth when it's over. It's either gonna be delicious, okay, or simply no good. All right, so here's our attempt to use the sous vide. I think that's French. But either way, I've had good success using this before. So we're taking an elk pot roast, and we're gonna put it in this bag, and then I'm gonna basically seal it, and then that's gonna be placed in the sous vide. So far as the seasoning, I got some nice cayenne hot sauce I wanna put in there. I even got a little beef consomme, which I'm assuming is kind of like a beef broth, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. In this case, it's elk. Probably not necessary, so all your chefs probably already judging me. And then watch this here sauce, some of that, some Worcestershire sauce. But T-Bone helped me name that a long time ago. What's this here sauce? It's Worcestershire sauce, it's good. And then my dad got me some different seasoning for Christmas. You know, I don't know. It should be good stuff though, according to the label, I don't know. We'll try that out. And then we're gonna put it in there, let it probably sit. A pot roast technically is done at 145 degrees internal temperature, so we're gonna set our sous vide in this case to 150. Might be a mistake, but I think 150 is a good solid temperature for beef, in this case pot roast. And then what we're gonna do is pull it out, sear it on the grill, and I'm probably gonna put it in my slicer over here and cut me up some different slices of meat, because I'm thinking like a roast beef sandwich, in this case, pot roast elk sandwich. So let's get started. All right, we decided to go with this. It's more for beef, I think. It don't say pot roast, but hey, we're gonna do it. All right, one elk roast, freshly obtained from this fall hunt out in Utah. What's this here sauce? What's this here sauce? I like spicy stuff, and there's nobody who knows spice better than a Cajun, specifically my buddy Stale Cracker. So this is a little bit like Emerald, just boosh, just throw it in there, bam. I'm gonna put some of this in here for a little bit extra seasoning. I personally think that this could be good, and I don't know that you can really put, you know, anything that you like I think it'd make it really good. And then I'm gonna do something just a little different. My wife uses this all the time. And so basically, that's gonna be like, you know, somewhat like the crock pot. It's gonna be in there, and it's gonna be somewhat cooking in this. So a little more hot sauce. My wife says I over season things, and I think she's right. But I would rather something be over seasoned than under seasoned. Man, I don't like no bland, boring food. So here we go. I love this. This machine is one of my favorite things because of the simple fact that if you processing deer meat or even putting up steaks that you might have bought in stores and stuff, you've got such an amazing ability to keep them good for a long time. And I just think it's a handy dandy piece of equipment. There we go. So now we got that nicely sealed, and basically it's going to cook in this bag. And so, you know, if you talk about marinating, there's really no need to have to marinate. In this case, a pot roast is somewhat like, you know, how you put your crock pot in, you're not marinated, throw a piece of meat in, throw your mushroom soup or your broth and mushrooms, onions, whatever, carrots. In this case, it's already in this bag. So it's similar to a pot roast cooking in a crock pot, but it's cooking in this case sous vide. So it's going to be really tender, and we can cook it for a long period of time. So it's ready to go. Our sous vide machine is up to 98 right now, or 97. Preferred temperature is 150. So we're going to put it in, let it sit. We can walk away and go do some chores on the farm. At this point, I think we can just kind of walk away. I thought about, I got this other one. I might throw that in there too. We got the elk roast rocking and rolling, but you know, I want to thank y'all. Appreciate y'all helping us grow this Bone Collector YouTube page. So thank y'all for subscribing, and also to help kind of put more content out there. We just started a Michael Waddell page too, so check that out. A little different vibe, similar in some cases, but it's available to you as well. So fun stuff, man. There's so much to share. We all got so much to share with each other. It doesn't make one thing right or wrong, but you know, when you start having an opportunity to just share all the things, the way you do things, even experiments, and you get a chance to take it all in, it becomes pretty fun and exciting. And that's why sometimes it's easy to stay on our phones or our devices so long, because we're always trying to learn a better way to cook a steak, faster way to skin a deer, a better way to cook an elk roast. Or in this case, I don't know that this is going to be the best way, but it's a way I'm going to try based on the buddy who tried it with a domestic beef roast. He did it this way, and I've got a plethora, a bunch of elk roast. So you know what? That's the beauty of it. So thank y'all for checking out Bone Collector, and also thank y'all for checking out the Michael Waddell page as well. All right, so we talked about experimenting. So we're about to pull one of these out. First, let's check it, see what it looks like. They've been in here for 5 hours. You can tell it's cooking down nice. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna take one out. We're gonna leave the other one in all night, cooking on 150. I've seen these sous vide pot roast recipes all the way up to 30 hours staying in the sous vide. We're gonna pull this out 5 hours, and then we're gonna char it on the grill, both sides, cook it really hot, sear it, and slice it. Let's see what we got. We stroked it up from Susie's Ridge, my little cooler down there, to my house. We're about to cut this open. Oh, it smells so good. I know you can't pick that up, and I'm sure it's gonna be still. We kind of was hoping for a little bit of, I wanted it a little steaky, and it looks like we still got that way. And then what I'm gonna do now is throw a little of this Montreal steak on it, and then I'm gonna just sear that sucker real good. 100% is definitely the temperature we want. I don't know if it's gonna be the tenderness we want. Again, 5 hours, we're gonna leave a one in all night, and that should make it even more tender. But I wanna see if we had one that's a little tougher, and then you slice it, and kind of more like a small round steak. With all that season, should be really good. We're about to find out. I'm gonna sear both sides. I just threw down a little bit of olive oil. I've always liked cooking my ribeyes. Just rub some olive oil on them before I put them on the grill, and maybe your favorite dry seasoning. Not a lot. You know, Montreal steak, I've even put that Cajun two-step on it. I've never been one to marinate my steaks. I like them just kind of a good cut of meat. But that olive oil seems to really, I don't know, man, add a little flavor and taste. I know, I'm not Emerald. I'm definitely not Martha Stewart. And I'm not Paula Deen either. But I have shot a lot of things over the years, and I've wrapped them up in tin foil, threw them in fires from Alaska to Mexico, and around here as a kid, you know, go shoot you a mess of squirrel, catch some crappie or bass, and cook them all kind of different ways. And I'm just trying to venture off the typical habit of us Southerners and frying everything. I mean, you know what? The South does not have a bad rap for having great food, but we do get a bad rap for just frying everything, and that's a fact. It's not at all false. We do fry a lot of things, and so I'm trying to get more sophisticated, introducing the sous vide machine and searing things on a black, these flat surface. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Let's sear on both sides. I mean, you got to know that we have never claimed to be a cooking channel. We have claimed to be the channel that secures the meat. I feel like I could have easily done the voiceover for the Arby's commercial. I would like to say reading, I've been listening to the book about the Empire of the Summer Moon, about the Comanche Indians. And so, you know, if you read about how they eat buffalo meat and what they did and how they took the raw liver and squirted it, you know, with juice from the gallbladder, and that's what the kids ate. I mean, it's literally like watching, you know, reading that is like hearing a Josh Bomar YouTube video is what they ate. I mean, it's the grossest, most obscene stuff. Of course, it's for social media, so they wasn't trying to get a rise out of people. They're trying to survive on the prairies and the plains. And so obviously, I know this is going to be better than what Quanah Parker cooked the Comanches out toward the 4-6s Ranch, you know, back years ago, I think. So, you know, we'll see. What I do know about these sous vide units is the fact that your meat is done. When it comes out of the water in its bag, the meat's done. It's cooked thoroughly. We already checked this meat. Pot roast 130. The internal temperature of this thing was already 140 when I checked it. So this is going to heat it up a little more. So I know the meat's through and through. It's just a question of how tender is it going to be, but how tender do we want it to be? So I'm going to set it over here and I'm going to let it rest just a little bit. My wife says, you know, cooking segments, the most important thing is the presentation. But you got to think about that. So many times, where are we going to be in presentation? You're going to be in the middle of the elk woods or around a campfire at turkey camp, and you might not necessarily have the most elegant dishes. Some leftover Tupperware, at best a beat up cookie sheet that your wife was about to throw away that you decided to take to hunting camp. So I'm trying to keep it real. I'm just going to cut just a little off of this end right here, just a little sliver. Unbelievable taste. Unbelievable taste. My wife, this beautiful and elegant and of honesty.
And I just hear you talking.
Please taste a little piece of this. Why would I ever say anything wrong? Could you please just do me the pleasure? This is an elk roast sous vide for 5 hours and blackened on the Blackstone. Pretty good? It's not bad, is it? It's almost like a fine piece of steak, ain't it? And so I got the other one.
It don't taste gamey.
Not at all. All right. My thing, because most of the time, production people.
Is it prime rib?
No, it's just an elk roast, a Utah elk roast that I got this year. The cameramen never lie. Production guys never lie. They don't do this on MTV. It's delicious, if you ask me. And I like that it ain't. I kind of like, get Christian's opinion. I like the fact that it ain't overly just, it's tender, but it's not shredded.
Yeah.
I hadn't even gotten into the blackened parts of it. What I was thinking, Christy, that would be good if you could put that on your meat you maker. There's a slicer, slice thin. That'd be great sandwich meat, like roast beef.
You go with some mashed potatoes and gravy.
We found a new way to cook elk pot roast. I really do, or elk roast. It's tender. It tastes like somewhere between a New York strip and a round steak. So not complete consistency of a ribeye because it don't have much fat in it. But that's fine. It's not overcooked. Really good, and it's not overseasoned. I was worried I overseasoned it, but all right. New way to cook elk roast. I'm so excited because I happen to love hunting elk. I would imagine a deer roast would be the same way, so thank y'all. So here we go. We tried the one cook 5 hours in the sous vide. So now elk roast 24 hours. We're gonna pull it out, sear it on the grill. We're gonna slice it up on the slicer and see what we come up with. There we go. All right, let's go open this. We're gonna sear it and then we're gonna bring it back up and we're gonna slice it. I don't know, thick or thin, medium, a little of both. All right, did this a little different. So here's the same elk roast and we just seared it. Sealed it really hot, and so we got the Meat You Maker slicer. So we're going to see what this tastes, what it's like to do basically some deli meat. I'm just gonna try a piece right now. Somewhat salty. I like that thickness. That thing slices it thin like some deli meat. Elk sandwiches all week, baby. Bro, I feel like Jimmy John. Killed it, cooked it, sliced it. There we go, look at that. It looks like literally like you just left a deli. Let's try a piece. It's better than a supermarket. That's gonna be my kid's sandwich every day for school. Is an elk roast sandwich, roast beef, roast elk. Thank you, Meat You Maker. Thank you, wonderful Wapiti. Thank you, bow hunting. Thank you, the good Lord, for these renewable resources. If you ain't hunting yet, I'm telling you, you need to. Get you some equipment, learn the skill set. For those of that you know the skill set, do it yourself. Oh my God, that right there. I mean, unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. Again, you gotta give it to the camera guy. It's the only way it works. If you don't like it, it don't go. I'd put that on a sandwich. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Smash the subscribe button, homie. That's so weird. I'm sorry. I tried.
What's the story behind the wolf picture?
This picture here has no significance other than, you know, it makes you be on top of your A game when you got a wolf looking in your eyes. I think the reintroduction of the wolves has been not the most exciting thing to talk about. And I just introduced him in here to sometimes look in his eye and say, no, I'm the wolf. Yeah, you're jealous, ain't you? Yeah, so that's what that is.